How did the terrain affect the Battle of Philippi? Have you ever wondered how the land itself can shape the outcome of a battle? The Battle of Philippi in 42 before Common Era is a perfect example. This battle was not just a clash of armies, it was a contest influenced heavily by the surrounding terrain. The battle took place on the plains west of the city of Philippi in Macedonia. The landscape included hills, marshes, rivers, and the Via Egnatia Road. Each of these features played a role in how the armies moved and fought. The leaders of the Republican forces, Marcus Junius Brutus and Gaius Cassius Longinus, chose to occupy the high ground along both sides of the Via Egnatia. Cassius positioned himself on elevated mounds to the north, while Brutus camped near the foot of the mountains. This choice gave them a defensive edge. High ground is easier to defend and harder for attackers to reach. Their camps were connected by a fortified corridor but were about 2.7 kilometers apart. This distance made it challenging for them to support each other quickly during the battle. They also took advantage of a marsh that was nearly impossible to cross, creating a natural barrier against flanking attacks. The Gangites River provided additional protection, and they fortified their positions with ramparts, ditches, palisades, and walls. This made direct assaults very difficult for their opponents. On the other side, Antony and Gaius Octavius, leading the forces of the Second Triumvirate, set up their armies on the plains south and west of the Via Egnatia. Their camp was about 1.5 kilometers from Cassius' position. This proximity allowed for more direct engagement, but their position was more exposed compared to the elevated camps of the Republicans. The marsh limited their maneuvering space and helped protect the Republican flank. Antony's forces had to build paths through the marsh to approach the enemy fortifications. This was a tough task, as the terrain was not friendly to movement. The supply lines were also affected by the terrain. Brutus and Cassius sourced supplies from Neapolis, which required crossing mountains to bring food to their camps. Meanwhile, Antony and Octavian relied on supplies from Amphipolis, which was farther away. In the first engagement, Antony used the terrain to his advantage by creating a track through the marsh to launch a surprise attack on Cassius' fortifications. This forced the Republicans to adapt their plans. However, this maneuver exposed Antony's left flank, showing how the challenging terrain influenced tactical decisions. Overall, the terrain at Philippi initially favored the Republicans by providing strong defensive positions and natural barriers. These features allowed Brutus and Cassius to fortify their camps and attempt to outlast their opponents. In contrast, Antony and Octavian faced the difficulties of fighting on open plains and navigating marshy ground. The terrain was a decisive factor in the conduct and outcome of the battle, highlighting the importance of geography in Roman military strategy during the transition from republic to empire.